What are the pros and cons of using AI in place of hiring junior staff? Everybody's talking about it at the moment, but there's a lot of implications for taking that sort of action, especially on a regular basis. So let's break it down. For one of the pros, it could be cheaper just to use a tool, but it really depends on the tool. So if you're using a free tool and your company allows that, that could be a good option. But at the same time, if your company doesn't allow it, then there's cost implications for getting a proprietary tool in-house. Second, it could be really helpful in non-permanent roles. For example, if a certain workload comes up and you don't need somebody on a full-time basis to do that work, it's just a momentary issue that comes up, then using AI for tasks could be really useful, especially if it's something that's really repetitive or mundane. If you don't need to hire an entire role, like give somebody some sort of responsibility that they would do on a day-to-day basis that would be meaningful, and you just have quick tasks, then AI could be a really good option, especially with the complexity that it has now. Or just doing research. If it's simple research, like deep research even, ChatGPT can do that. So as long as it's something that doesn't cost a fortune, you might be able to complete quick tasks just with using AI. Now with the cons, I think the cons almost make it outweigh the pros. There are pros, but if you're doing long-term thinking, not short-term thinking, the cons start to win out here. Number one, it could be really expensive. So when you get an AI tool, you have to think of what the ROI is. There's costs that need to be made upfront in investment, and then you realize productivity over time. So what's the cost benefit of realizing that productivity versus having somebody that you can develop to a more mid-level professional? The second con is when development starts to stall. And this development isn't just for junior people. You're missing out an entire wave of junior people who you could be developing in your company. But it's also the opportunity for mid-level people to manage someone, mentor someone. Also, you learn from people who are coming in, new people, whether they're younger or they're coming from somewhere else. So there might not be as much knowledge transfer. Finally, there's succession. So one of the benefits of bringing in new people at a junior level is that when you have mid-level people who leave for jobs, opportunities, life experiences, you have somebody who's worked with that person that could potentially take their place very easily. Otherwise, it's very expensive and risky to hire from the outside. You can do it, but if you don't have anybody that's junior to fill those roles, it becomes very difficult for succession at your company. So before you go saying, oh, we don't need any junior staff, AI can just do that, think about what the repercussions are, especially over the years. And think about what the costs are. Is there a cost benefit to it? Sometimes AI programs can be more expensive than hiring someone. So you really have to think that out. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Just drop them in the comments below and like and follow for more.